Yeah, I'm not speaking. I'm just opening my documents. Am I not audible?
Yes.
Yes, you are, Vishnu.
Now it's okay.
You're audible now.
Yes, it is audible.
Yeah. Give me. I'm just opening it. Yeah, so welcome everyone to this course on JMeter Performance Testing. So here we will be extensively looking into the tool called JMeter. So just to understand, like, may I know how many of you are from the testing background?
I'm from testing, sir.
Okay,
I'm from
Manasa,
testing
next.
background, Vishnu.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
Mansa
I'm
Pati.
also positive.
Okay, then we'll do one thing. We can go one by one so that I can also get a understanding like what the audience is. Can we start with Dharini? Dharini? Okay, Manasa Reddy?
Yes, Vishnu, I'm from testing background.
Okay, so you are from which testing, Manasa? Like from
I
performance
have
or
been
automation?
into functional automation and for 4 years performance testing.
Okay, so you have a performance testing background.
Yeah.
Okay, so which tool you have worked on?
I worked on JMeter, but not perfectly. That's why I'm
Okay, okay,
attending it again to make myself perfect.
okay. No, I'm just because what I generally do is I understand the audience and I modify the course based on that, so that it fits
Yes,
best
yes.
fits everyone. Yeah,
That would be helpful actually.
yeah. Satyajit, I think his audio is not okay. Manasa, Praveen.
Yes, which one? I'm from Singapore and I have a testing background in automation and a little bit in automation and completely in manual testing.
Okay, that's good. No, why? Because now I know at least like there are people who are not from performance now, so
Yeah.
that means I have to give some fundamentals on performance. So that's why it helps.
Completely zero knowledge in performance testing.
Yeah. Okay.
So we are with hands up and like.
Yeah, sure. Madhuprabha?
Good evening, sir. I'm from non-IT field actually. I've completed manual testing course and then I will
Okay.
join the performance testing course.
Yeah. Wali?
Yeah, I'm also on testing background. I have some knowledge on JMeter and performance also. I'm looking into
Okay.
the deep performance testing. That's why I'm joining this session.
Okay.
Is
Vikas?
it session for me?
Yeah, go ahead. Vigne. I think Wali, please go ahead.
Sorry?
You say something?
Yeah, is it useful for me? I have some knowledge about JMeter and performance.
So like how far you are? Like I meant what do you have any have an idea like what you are looking for?
Yeah, I
Like
have
or
already executed some load and stress and soak testing like that with the different scenarios.
okay.
But I'm thinking about I have deep knowledge on bin shell scripting and recording scripting like that.
Okay. So basically, that will constitute only the last maybe 10-20% only. So I don't know whether this will be that because because anyway you know JMeter, right? So
Yes.
even bean shell scripting also it will be like like intermediate level, right? Like how we can because it's a
Sorry,
total.
sorry for interrupting. I'm facing while doing recording sessions. That's why I'm interested in to this
Oh,
session.
yeah. Okay, then it will be useful. Yes.
Why? Because some of the post and get methods I'm confusing about that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, 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 sure. Then it will be helpful for you. Yeah.
That's why.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
Vignesh,
Thank you.
thank you, Ali. Vignesh, Vignesh, am I audible? Okay, let's move to Vikas.
I'm not from testing background. Actually, I'm from network security domain. So
Okay,
completely, thing is completely new for me.
okay. Yeah, thank you. Sangeeta?
Yeah, hi Vishnu. I'm from mobile application testing. So I would like to learn JMeter or LoadRunner. I want to attend both the demo sessions so that I can decide myself like what I need to pick.
For you, then there will be an interesting session on API testing. So where we
Mm-hmm.
capture mobile traffic and we import it through JMeter and verify that. So there is some part where we do that. That will be interesting.
Okay, so when it will going to happen?
It will happen like initially some days it will
The
be there.
background noise is very high actually.
Unable to understand.
Is
Like
my
unable.
background noise
Yeah.
now also? Because I am not getting any noise here.
Now it's fine.
Yeah, I think Sangeeta, like maybe,
Yes, I muted. So
hey, no issues, no issues. Like, yeah, so that's what. So mobile testing, it will be helpful. It will come in next four, not four, I will say, maybe sixth or seventh session during that time when we start recording and all, when we learn about recording the script, updating the script. So that time there will be two services, web services and mobile services. That time we will.
yes, actually we have started for the web services web application. We have both mobile and web application. We have started, but we are not sure of the tool, right? So I'm attending this session.
The again,
Venkat?
still
Okay.
background noise is very high.
Yeah, Venkat, can you go ahead?
Actually, I'm from non-IT background, so I'm totally new to this one.
Okay. Yeah. No, no issues. Thank you, Venkat. Kannan?
Yeah, okay.
Hello, Vishnu. Good morning. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
very good knowledge on LoadRunner. I'm just having a basic knowledge in JMeter. So I'm just
Okay.
looking for this integration with the AppDynamics.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mayank?
Yeah, so I'm from testing background. So I have till now I've worked on manual and automation using Selenium Java, and recently I have started working on JMeter. Having basic knowledge about the JMeter, just want to dig deep into the JMeter. That's why I want to join the course.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mayank? Oh, I think, sorry, not Mayank. Namita?
Hello, am I audible?
I think Namita, we have already
Yes.
spoke, right? Yes, yes. Okay. No issues. Then uh, I can see HP, like the name. Who is HP? Okay, that's fine. Let's move on. Okay, so I have an idea of the audience now. So it's a mixed audience. So no worries. Like anyways, our course is like defined in such a way that it is catering all the people. There's only prerequisite is if you have a little bit of testing knowledge, like what happens in testing, what is this testing life cycle and all. It will be helpful because that we will not be covering here. But in general, majority of the things of performance testing we will be covering, and the tool which we will be seeing extensively will be JMeter. So let's see the course content once. So like if we see the course, right, like initially we will be seeing some basic things about the performance testing, the types of testing, and different terminologies in performance testing, like what is this response time, or what is this throughput, what is hits per second, transactions per second, or what is the difference between hits and transactions, or what is a server, what is a web server, app server, what is a proxy server, those things, right? Some basic things which we need to know before we test anything, right? Those things we will be seeing in detail. Okay, and then we will be moving on to the JMeter. Okay, in JMeter, let me open that course content.
Vishnu, sorry to interrupt. This is Vignesh. I had some audio issues.
Yeah, Vignesh, please go ahead.
So I'm from performance testing background. So I have
Yeah.
worked in JMeter, but it was with little of scripting in web services. So I just wanted to learn completely JMeter
Okay.
from
Yeah.
basics until with the different protocols and all those things.
Okay. Yeah. So generally, yeah, so that we will be seeing, because JMeter supports a lot of protocols. So we'll be seeing different types of tests in our course, and also how we use those in our scenario, different elements, how we can use, and different types of like some critical things will be there, like where you get stuck generally. So that also we'll be seeing what you need to do when you get stuck sometime. Yeah, so that is there.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me, yeah. Okay, so as we know, as I said, the course content, it will be starting with some performance testing. So that it has not been mentioned here because this is totally on JMeter course, right? But we will be also giving a performance testing background, because there are like most of the people like who are not from performance at all. So they need to know, because otherwise this course won't be meaningful to them, because they can't correlate with things. So first, as I said, performance testing background, that's different terminologies, different architectures. We will see all those. Then we will jump into JMeter. Okay, so we will understand the JMeter concepts, some introduction, like what is the tool, and why is it being so extensively used in the market. Those things we will be covering. Then we will be going to JMeter scripting part. Okay, because when we take the testing as such, there is scripting, there is execution, and there is analysis. Okay, and obviously we have a planning before scripting. So we will be seeing all this, like planning, scripting, execution, and analysis. We will go step by step. So we will understand different types of elements, like different settings which we need to know while we record a script. So this all comes in the JMeter scripting. Okay, and the recording best practices, what all you need to avoid when you record something, different files and folders which you need to take care, and how to manipulate those files and folders in the JMeter to get your work done, right? And different plugins like what we have in JMeter, the scenarios, how do you identify a scenario, how do you develop a workload model, how an end-to-end recording happens. Okay, like if you have an end-to-end scenario, we'll speak what is the scenario and all. But if you have an end-to-end, like you need to capture a whole flow. Okay, how do you do that? All this we will be seeing. And some like some important concepts like parameterization, correlation, and how do you extract some parameters from the response. Okay, those things we will see. Then obviously we have the execution part. So here we will understand, like how do we execute in a non-GUI mode and GUI mode, and what is a JTL file, then different types of results, transactions, then many things related to the execution. Okay, what we need to take care, how do we generate HTML report, how do you send out a report, how do you develop a test project plan or test script definition document. All this we will be seeing. Then again, JMeter elements we will be seeing in detail, where we will see different protocols. Okay, what all protocols, how to use those elements for different protocols, like you're testing a database, you're testing a file upload, you're testing some critical APIs. Okay, so those things how we do that also we'll be seeing. So again, this section, as I said, everything will be with respect to the web services and REST services. So what generally REST services I meant with that is the mobile applications, the APIs. Okay, so how do we deal with that? And also at the end, we will see a bit on the analysis part using AppDynamics, how we integrate JMeter with AppDynamics, what all we can do with that tool. Okay, so that we will be seeing, and that's how our course content will look like in the further classes. Okay, and yeah, so let's start with what is performance testing. Okay, so any question till now, anyone, any query regarding what will be happening and what will be covering and all?
Yeah, are you going to cover load test?
Sorry, your voice is breaking, Mayank. You can type in the chat. So if anyone has internet issues, they can type in the chat. Yeah, and like some like who had attended the past session, Vinita, I guess, we'll be starting a little again because we have a different audience now. So maybe one or two sessions will be same what you saw, Navita.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start. So let's understand first what is performance. Okay, what do we generally do in performance testing? How is it different from the traditional testing practice? Okay, that we will understand, and we will also see the something like little on the JMeter because it's a demo session, right? So we can have okay. Mayank's question: are we going to cover load and stress testing in this tutorial? Yes, Mayank. Yeah. So generally there are 4 types of testing. We will speak about that. Majorly 5 we can say, but fifth one is not that major, so we can say 4. That we will be seeing how to execute those tests yeah, like one by one, but that will be in the execution part. As I showed you the course content, initially it is more on the scripting, and then it is more on the like how we are going to develop our scripts and then edit on that, then later the execution will come, right? So that time we will be seeing that, right? So let's see. So can anyone call out like what are the types of testings you have heard in performance? Anyone?
I think performance testing, stress,
Yeah, stress
stress
testing,
testing, load,
load,
Load, stress, volume,
Load, stress,
and
stress
endurance.
test, and baseline test. Endurance.
So anyone heard of spike testing?
Yes.
Yeah, endurance. Spike test.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And endurance. Any other test?
Ye-
Failover testing.
Yeah. So that failover testing won't come in performance. Okay. It's a different testing like automation. It's a totally different testing. We don't consider it inside performance.
Volume testing.
Try run. Okay.
Yeah, so let's say volume. Okay, volume is also a last test we can say. There are many tests, okay, which people have developed with time. Okay, but these are the major 5 testing which we have, and this fifth one is not that major. Okay, generally we don't do that in performance, but during some important or like the client comes and says, okay, we need to do a volume testing, that time we do it. But generally it doesn't happen in the performance test plan. Okay, so these are the 4 tests which happen generally in performance, which is stress test, load test, spike test, and endurance. Okay, now, so what is the thing which we are interested when we are testing performance, that we need to understand. Okay, like how is it different? Okay, what is the difference between performance and other testing practices, that we need to know. Okay, so what is a major difference, or what is that what we are looking into in performance? Now let's say I have a application. Okay, so in that application, okay, like if I have anything like whatever, if there's a bus going, okay, there's a bus traveling. Okay, if the number of people in the bus are like 10, it will go little, like let's say it is going at some speed, okay, x. Now if the people are 100 inside the bus, will the speed be same? Correct, the speed will come down. Okay, and when if it is 1000, like let's assume the bus can carry 1000. Okay, the speed will again means like it has to put more force to carry that much people. Okay, similarly if you have an application, more the number of users using that application, more the load on that application, right? So more the load, lesser speed the application will load in front of you. So if you want to increase the speed, what you can do, either you increase the power, the bus power you can increase, or either you can adjust with the speed what you have. Okay, like only thing what you can do is increase the power. Okay, now increase the power in terms of application, what is it? Correct, so the infrastructure.
Hardware.
What we can do is we can increase the infra means the memory, the CPU, those things. So you need to increase that based on the users. Now this is one thing, okay, what we can do. But is this like if I have a bus, okay, I increase the power of the bus, what will increase with the power with respect to the company which is building it, or the person who is
Cost.
buying? Cost. Correct, cost will increase. But what is the other way that I don't increase the power, okay, so that the cost is also not increasing? With that much power what I have, I can carry the 1000 people. So what I need to do is I need to tune the system. Tune the system means, like let's say I have this bus, it is carrying with X 1000 people. Either I can increase the power, or else what I can do, I can improve the shape of the bus such a way that, okay, the drag or the friction is less, okay, or something I can do that. Okay, with the same power I can carry 1000 people. Similarly in application also, what happens is there are places where you can improve. Okay, rather than directly increasing the infrastructure and increasing the cost, which is what we don't want. Okay, so as a performance engineer or a performance tester, our main focus is to tune the infrastructure to the maximum capability. Okay, like if my infrastructure is able to handle like 10,000 users, okay, and if it is not able to handle that much, like if, okay, my infrastructure is able to handle 10,000 but now it is able to handle only 2,000, so there is some issue in the system. Okay, so I need to find out those issues and I need to fix that. So that's regarding the infrastructure. So if you can do that, what will be reduced?
Cost.
Cost, right? And if cost is reduced, it's a great thing what you have done, right? And obviously the client will be happy. That's how a performance tester will, or a performance engineer will add value to the organization. Okay, by tuning the infrastructure in such a way that the cost comes down and you add the value. So now, to put it in more technical way, this is the economical point of view, the cost point of view. So now in the technical point of view, first, what did we try to analyze? One is the load, right? What is the load on the system? That we need to analyze and test it and optimize it. So one is we understand the load. Okay, This is the first one thing what we are interested. And second thing, now let's say there are thousand like 1,000 people again traveling in the bus. What if this bus is moving here and there like this when it is traveling? Is it good? Will the customers travel in that bus?
No.
No. Similarly, in performance or in any application, the application should be smooth. And in more technical term, it should be stable. Okay, so what is the meaning of stable? Stable means like if you have this application running, okay, so if with 100 users or 1,000 users, the same thing should happen with the application. What is like, okay, let me put it in simple terms. So let's say with one user, I have a landing page or a website, okay, which prints one image. This is with one user. With 100 users also, this page should look the same like that. This is called stability. In very simple words, okay, this is called stability. Now, what if this application is not stable? Okay, so what will happen is if the application is not stable, instead of this image, you might see like, let's say, some only small something error. You would have seen this, right? In some websites, like the images don't load and some alt text will appear, right? Anyone observe this? Like images won't load. So that is again issue with the load, or maybe it can be functional also. Okay, we don't say it's not functional, but if it is happening due to users, because in one user it is happening properly, right? With
It will
100
not be
users,
able to sustain the load.
correct. So this is called the stability. So what is performance testing? In two words now. One is load.
Load and stable. App should be stable.
Stability. So we have, so performance testing is all about the application load and application stability. So how much load the application can take and how much stable the application is. These are the two things which we are interested. So this is what this performance testing is all about. So now you can happily remove the failover testing, right? Now why failover testing is not coming in performance? I guess someone said failover, right? I don't remember the name, but you can now you understood, right? Like why failover is not in performance. So what happens in failover? Failover testing is a type of testing where we see whether the system is able to withstand any failure, right? But here we are not checking that. We are interested in the real time, okay, when what is happening to the application when we have a load, when we have, so it's not like any disaster condition. Getting my point, everyone? So clear about
Yes,
performance testing? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, small point to add. So let us
Yeah.
consider like there are two servers. So
Okay.
if server 2 goes down also, like the whatever the load is there, that should be mean, say for instance 100 users are accessing that particular application, they should, when with one server also, like all the 100 users, like it should be fine, right? So that's what I meant to say. Might be
Yeah, correct. So I understand from the way, like what you want to mention, but see, the thing here is like if you have a server and if it is able to withstand, but the response time will increase, which is again we can't handle, because in performance response time has to be maintained.
yes.
So there you are not worried about response time. That's a failover testing.
Yes, probably like much more we have to discuss.
Correct.
Like,
Yes. So we
we'll
will
discuss
move.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
we'll
see,
move on.
we have different types of testings in market. Okay. If you see, there is automation, there is manual, there is, as you said, failover, there is performance, there is chaos and chaos testing. Anyone heard of it? Nowadays, it is becoming very famous, right? So this all, why do we have so many type of testing? Because each have their own objectives. Okay. That's why, because performance can't uncover functional issues, that's why we have functional testings, right? Because performance is one type of non-functional testing. And similarly, failure, like something what failover testing can uncover, performance can't. Similarly, something what chaos testing can, failover, performance can't. So that's how the testings are being developed. Okay, so that we will understand as we move ahead. We understand what is response time, what is our objective, what is throughput. Okay, as we move ahead, it will be more clearer. Yeah, so let's now move on to the next topic. Okay, is it okay, Vignesh?
Yes, Vishnu, you can go.
Okay. Yeah, so that's about performance. Okay, now let's move on to types of testing. Okay, now we know what is performance. Performance is about application load and how stable the application is under the load, or under the number of users, how the application is behaving. We try to analyze that. Okay, now next is to analyze this. Okay, we have different types of testing. So types of performance testing, we can say. Okay, so as we spoke, let's see one by one. Okay, so what is a load test, which is the most common and which is the first test every performance tester will do. Okay, so load test is nothing but, okay, now let's say I have a client, okay, or I have the application, and the client comes and says to me that this application should not go, or let's say I'm going to the Amazon website. I'm opening an Amazon website. Now if you see here closely, if you just inspect this element, okay, if I go to network here, right, now here you will see one request, which is this request. Okay, now totally we can see it took around 18 seconds as per like all the requests to load and all. Okay, 18 seconds it took. But what I wanted to show you here is my customer or my client, what he says is, now this is loading at 18 seconds. Okay, let's make it 5 seconds. I meant, let's assume it is 5 seconds. The website is loading in 5 seconds. Now this is with one user, only I am accessing it. Now what if some 100 users or 1000 users are accessing this in different machines? Okay, not in one machine. So what will happen? 1000 users are accessing. So with one user, it is 5 seconds. So with 10 user, how much it will be? Any idea? Anyone? Any guess? It will be higher,
Double
right?
five.
It will be higher than 5 seconds. Now what my customer is saying is, with 1000 users, okay, with 1000 users, the response time should be below 10 seconds. But when with my instinct, okay, with my current instinct, I feel okay, it should for one user, if it is 5 seconds, for 1000 users it will be maybe 100 seconds, not 10 seconds, right? But this is my requirement, what I have from my client, that my client says, okay, for 1000 users the response time should be 10 seconds. So this test is called load test. So what we do in load test is, we know the required amount of transactions, or how much, in simple terms, for now, for you to understand, we know how many users are going to go to this Amazon.com. That is a load. So this is nothing but the load, right? And what should be the response time below, like the response time should be below 10 seconds, like 9 seconds, 8 seconds, whatever. Okay, we know that also, we know the time. So in a nutshell, what is a load test? A load test is a test where we have a target load, and we have the target load and response time. Getting my point? So in load test, we already have what target load we need to achieve. Okay, what is the number of users we need to go to, okay, and the response time maximum it should go to, okay, it should not cross that much response time. Getting my point? What is load test? Anyone? Now what happens in stress test? Okay, in stress test, now in stress test there is a difference. Here we don't know the load, also the response time. So what is it? So here what we are interested is, like, let's say there is amazon.com. Okay, now what I do is I keep on adding the users like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, 5,000, 5,000, 10,000. So until the system breaks means it should throw some 500 error or 404 error or some error like that. Okay, so till that level we add the load. Okay, so and we understand how the response time is behaving, the stability and all those. So that type of test where we are understanding the maximum load or the maximum response time our website can go is called the stress test. Now what about the spike test? With the name, you can someone guess? Spike.
If due to sudden more than expected load, if the application start behaving abnormally.
Sudden rise in the load,
Correct. So
sudden
spike test,
unexpected
correct,
rise in the.
correct. So spike
Sudden
test is
increase of load.
yes. So everything, all are correct. Only thing is in small. If we put it in a small, like a smaller point, like in a nutshell, okay, what it is. So spike test is nothing but, like, let's say Amazon has some offer, okay, some flash sale going on. So during flash sale, what will happen? The load will be in a matter of time, instantaneous, right? It's not like keeping on increasing with time. It is instantaneous. So that load will be lesser than the load which we do in the load test. So what was the load we applied in the load test? It was 1,000 users, right? The load will be lesser here. It might be some 500 users, okay, or maybe 700 users also. But it will be in an instant, like in a second, 700 users will, like, let's say, click on amazon.com. Just click. So, like 700 concurrent users will click on amazon.com. So that is called a spike test. So we understand, we try to analyze how the system will behave when there is a spike. Now, why do we do this type of test? Spike test. Any idea why? Because anyway, we are doing 1,000 users load test. So why do we need to do spike test? Like, why are we? What are we looking here into?
Uh, can compare this to what we do when we book a ticket using IRCTC. So during that time, a large number of people start using the application.
Correct, fine. So generally,
To check
what
the
happens?
stability.
So if anyone is aware about cloud, okay, there is something called auto scaling in cloud, right? Like our infrastructure will also scale with respect to the load what we have. That is what is called auto scaling. But no need to understand what is auto scaling. Just I'm saying, like, if I need 5 GB of memory, if the load increases, it will automatically shift to 10 GB. The cloud will handle that. Okay. One example I'm giving. Now, when there is a spike, okay, this 5 GB to 10 GB, it's not instantaneous. It will take some time. Okay, like if the cloud has to go from 5 GB to 10 GB, it will take maybe a minute or 2 minutes. Okay, based on how much we are paying them and all. Okay, that is again a different topic. But what will happen to our application when there is a spike and our memory is 5 GB? It can't go to 10 GB, right? Because it will take 2 minutes of time, but our load is coming in 1 second. But if our load comes in 1 second also, our application should withstand that load. Getting my point?
Yes.
That's what we want to test in the spike test, that if it is instantaneously also our application has to withstand it. That's why most of the time, whenever we decide the spike load, okay, the spike test load, it will be like 1/5 or 2/5 of load test. Getting my point? This one, 1/5 or 2/5. That means if 1,000 users we are using in load test, in spike test we will be using 200 users or maybe 400 users, not more than that. Clear?
Okay.
Yeah. So this is about the spike test. Now we have something called an endurance test. Now the
Vishnu,
name
one
itself, you know,
question.
right? Endurance. It has something to do with the time, right? So endurance test is generally a test which runs for more than 24, 48 in that way, hours. Okay, so we will run a test for like 12 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours. Load test is generally run for 1 hour only. Okay, not more than that. 1 hour, 1.5 hour, not more than that. But endurance is minimum, like we run it for 12, 24, 48. Some endurance tests are run for weeks also. Okay, but very rarely. Okay, but most commonly it is like 1 day to 2 days. Okay, so we run it. Now why do we run an endurance test? Anyway, this application is like a server and all. Okay, it's not an animal that it will get tired after it runs 1 hour, 2 hour. Okay, but why do we run it?
To check
Mobile.
system can handle load over a long period of time.
Correct, great. Any other statement, anyone? That is correct. Anyone else? Any other point?
We can call it as like capacity testing.
No, we can't. That
As
is
long
little,
you okay.
yeah, that is little different. Yes. Okay,
Like
so
from the server perspective.
so now let's say I am running the test. Okay, now whenever the test is running, or some application is there, okay, there is something called so whenever a code is running, okay, it creates some objects, right? It's in any object oriented programming language. Okay, it creates objects. Now these objects are created for each instance. Okay, like every instance, these objects are created and stored in the RAM. This is very simple way I'm explaining. I'm not going very deep. RAM means, again, there are different memories inside. Okay, but I'm just saying. Okay, so these objects are stored in RAM. Now what happens is, inside RAM there is some program which clears this object after some specific time. Okay, so that buildup is not there, because like, let's say I'm doing something, so that code ran and it created an object. Okay, so that work is done. Okay, but why should I need that object remain in the memory, right? It has to be deleted, because the other objects can use that space, so it will be cleared after some time. Now what happens is, but due to some error, okay, due to some error, this memory, these objects, some remain back. Like if there were some 5 objects, our memory management will clear only 4. So one will remain, 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 and it will just go on building up. Now what will happen if it keeps on building up? After some time, what will happen to the RAM? Like the objects use spaces. Okay, like it uses some memory, so objects are kept, like rather than fully cleaning it, every time our program is leaving some object behind. So what will happen to our memory?
Like
It
end
will
of
get
the day,
full.
it may lead to load.
So with the time, like let's say my memory is 5 GB, okay, my RAM is 5 GB, and this is the time. Okay, so with the time, the memory will keep on increasing and it will cross, like it will crash, because further there won't be any memory remaining in the RAM. This is called generally garbage collection, we say it. Okay, no need to know very detail what it is for now. We will speak about it maybe in the analysis section. Also, we say it memory leak. This is some terminology. So these two things is what we try to analyze in an endurance test. Okay, so in 2 days, is memory increasing? Okay, Like, is the memory keeping on increasing? If it is not increasing, our system is good, our application is performing well, we give you the sign off. Okay, we say, okay, this application can go to the live production. But if it is not, if we are seeing this behavior, then we don't give the sign off. It will not go to production. We need to clear that issue. Okay, the developers have to work on that program. Why this garbage is getting collected? Why all the objects are not getting deleted? That they have to analyze and they have to fix it. Now, clear about endurance, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So just to summarize now, so we have four tests. Okay. So let me draw a diagram. Volume test, there is no need to know. Okay, no one does it nowadays in performance. But just to understand, volume test is to test like high volume data. Okay, we just rather than increasing the load, we send a specific amount of load with high amount of data, like 1 MB, 2 MB, the data size. Okay, that is called volume testing. For now, we are interested more in this 4 testing only. Okay, so let's say I have 4 different types of testing. Okay, one is load, so other one is stress, then what is the third one? Spike,
Endurance.
endurance. Right. Now let's speak about load. Load in a summary. Okay, first load is known. So defined load, right? Defined load. Second, response time is known for that load. So if I put it in a sentence, testing or performance perf testing under defined load with a response time, we can say SLA. What is SLA? We will speak later. Who are already in this, but who are not aware, it's nothing but service level agreement. We will see later what it is. So what is load testing? So performance testing under defined load with a response time SLA. Is load testing clear, everyone?
Yes, Vishnu.
Now next is I'm just writing it quickly, so handwriting might not be, but if you're not clear or someone is making notes, you can always stop me, okay, and I can wait. Now next is stress. Stress is the load known. Load is not known. Is the response time known? Response time is not known. So we need to know the max load. We need to know the max response time. So in stress test, what do we do? Is to find the max load and max response time taken by the application. Clear? What is stress test? Any doubt? Like any doubt like comparing load test and stress test? Anyone?
No, Vishnu, I'm clear.
So next is spike test. So how our application is behaving under spike. Okay, so that's what we learn in spike test. So here the load will be load test by 2, we can say. Or see again, these are like it can change with respect to the organization, but surely it won't go above the load. Okay, where you do the load testing, it will be below the load, but as a rule of thumb, you can follow load test by 2. This is the spike test. So in spike test, we are testing things like auto scaling, how our application under sudden load behavior, application behavior under sudden load, that is spike test. Now what is endurance? Is the load known? Load is known, right? And it will be again load test, right? Generally rule of thumb. Okay. Second is the response time known. We have the SLA, right? We have the SLA. And third, to understand behaviors or problems like memory leak, etc. Also here one important thing, duration more than 12 hours. Generally, okay, duration is more than 12 hours. So this is the summary of all the tests in one table. Okay, so this you can either note down or take a picture. Also, even you can see it in the recording later on in the video. So if any interview is coming or anyone is asking of these tests, this is the easiest way of giving the answer or explaining them what these tests are. Okay. Yeah. So any question in this 4 test? Anyone?
Vishnu Vignesh here. So in spike testing, I have a small doubt. So
Yeah.
while ramping up the users, like if it is sudden load, like whether it is during the steady state or the ramp up, because I have not done spike testing.
Okay. So no ramp up at all, right? It's just in an instant we are pushing that much users.
Okay.
So let's say you
say
are giving ramp up duration as 1 second. Okay, so that's a spike test. So if you have some 200 users you are giving, in 1 second you ramp up 200 users.
Okay.
So that is spike test. So directly steady state, no ramp up, no ramp down. Even ramp down could be, but no ramp up.
Okay. So in spike testing, there should be no ramp up.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question, anyone? Okay, so that's about the performance and types of testing what we have. Let me just open 1 second. Yeah. So next in upcoming classes or as we progress with the course, next we will be seeing like what generally happens with the performance testing tool. Okay, like how performance testing tools, like what is the use of these tools, especially, and how do we compare JMeter with LoadRunner, NeoLoad, and other tools what we have in the market. Okay, and why people are going more into JMeter. Okay, due to its main thing is open source, we all know, and what are the other things. Okay, why JMeter is getting interested or it's coming in front for many different organizations. That one thing. Then we will be also seeing some things more on the scenario identification, script recording, enhancement as we progress in the course. So just to give a small, this is how a JMeter will look. People who don't have not seen JMeter, I just wanted to show quickly because it's a demo session. So I don't know, like just so that I can show you what is JMeter. So this is how a JMeter dashboard will look like, the GUI. So here you create your test plan, your script, then you can run your test, everything in one dashboard. Okay. It's not like LoadRunner or some other tools where we need to go with from one to next other tool. Like in LoadRunner, we have the controller, we have the analysis, different scripting in one tool, ViewGen, right? But here everything is in one, which makes it simpler. Okay. And if you compare many of the open source tools, the performance testing open source tool JMeter is very better than those open source tools. It's like very much competing with the paid tools, the functionalities, many things. Okay, it's very much very close to those paid tools. Only thing is some differences, like in LoadRunner we can add real-time users. Here we can't because it is a Java program. Okay, so we need to compile it every time. So adding a real-time user is difficult here. We can't do it. But in LoadRunner we can do it. So some differences like that. But if we can ignore those or if we can neglect those, JMeter has 99% of the capability, or we can say sometimes more than LoadRunner and some other tools. When it comes to other functionalities like the protocols or let's say a mobile testing. Mobile testing is very simple in JMeter compared to the other tools like LoadRunner and all. We will see that as we progress. Yeah, so yeah, tomorrow we will be seeing some more on the architectures, okay, types of architecture, the one tier, two tier, and three tier architecture, and different components in that architecture, the web server, app server, what is a proxy server, database server, and all those. Then we will move on to the JMeter tool. Okay, we will try to test. Then we will just see how the scripting is being done and scenario identification and all as we move ahead with the course. Yeah, and one more thing, I think you have a lab session also, which will not, like I won't be there, but I will be giving the content, what you need to do. Tomorrow, I don't think, because anyway, today we had a theory. So I don't know, tomorrow will be there will be a lab session or not, but the time decided is, I think, 5:30 PM IST. So it will be, I guess, 8 AM
Excuse me,
for
sir.
US.
Hello,
Yeah, Vikas.
sir.
Oh, yeah, Satyajit.
Sir, is there any programming involved in this? You are saying script, right? That's why I'm asking.
No. So no need to worry about the coding language. There is no programming here, okay, at all. Only the programming will come a little bit. That also pre-made. Like you can use that program, whatever I'm using in your organization also, like Bean Shell, some codes. Okay, that is very small part, like 10% or 5%, not even
Copy
5. Yeah,
Oh,
Manasa.
thank you, sir.
Yeah, Satyajit. Manasa, go ahead.
the code మీరు చెప్పారు కదా like what you are using we can use the same in our organization like
Yes. Yeah.
so you mean we can copy paste the same.
Not copy paste. It's like if I give you need to change the parameters, right? You need to understand what is the code. So that I will explain. What is the
Oh,
code? What are those parameters you need to change based on the application, based on the data what you have.
okay.
Yeah.
So you mean to say just a basic level of coding will be done, which will be like
Yes.
very
Yeah. So
lower level,
as I said,
not
it's
extensive
not
thing,
an
right?
advanced JMeter course. Correct. So this is not an advanced JMeter course where we have the Groovy scripting and Bean Shell scripting very high end. Here, what we are what we are covering is the 99% performance testing. What happens generally, okay, in most of the organization, that we will cover. But there are some advanced level of coding also that can be done, okay, like Bean Shell and Groovy and all. But that we won't be covering. But simple things we will be covering that too. But that I will be giving the code anyways, so you don't need to code it as such. You can understand what is the code. Then if you're interested, you can learn more on the Bean Shell, Groovy. I can give the materials also. So, and you can come back anytime, like if you have any queries when you're doing it.
A
Thank you.
small sorry for disturbing you again.
Yeah, no issues. This is a query session only, so feel free to ask me any query. Even during my lectures also, queries are always welcome. Yeah, go ahead, Manas.
Mhm. Actually, the concepts what we are going to learn here in performance testing, is this enough in IT sector, or do we go more at test?
Yeah. Okay. So see, what we are learning here is enough for a person who is in performance testing for past 4-5 years, or I can say
Okay.
4 years, not even 4-5, 4 years, because here we won't be speaking much on the performance engineering, okay, which is now becoming more relevant in the organizations, okay, like what they're expecting is people go a little ahead from testing to engineering, but to go to engineering, you need to know the testing also. You can't directly jump to engineering. Okay, so what I meant to say is, so this is what will happen in every organization for what they expect with some 3-4 years of experience in performance. But if you know performance engineering, like that is the next step. So after you learn this, you learn performance engineering also, which is also not that tough to learn nowadays. It is easy. Then I guess you can compete with 10 years experience people also. Am I clear, Manasa?
Yes, Vishnu, I'm fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, after this course, we will be around 3 to 4 years of experience related to performance testing in JMeter, right?
What because? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
So after this, after the end of the course, we'll be around 3 to 4 years of that much knowledge we will be having, right? Around 3.5 years of.
Correct. So what I meant to say is, if you whatever I'm teaching here, if you're really clear at that, and if you know all these things, you can clear any interview where performance testing they expect 4 years or 3 years.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And Manasa, one more thing I wanted to call out. It's for everyone. So people who are from automation and other testing backgrounds, nowadays this full stack QA is becoming very famous. Okay, full stack QA is nothing but people who are good at automation, good at performance, good at maybe 3-4 testing practices. Okay. So that they call full stack QA. Like generally the companies or the organizations are trying to reduce the cost. Okay, like rather than keeping 4 people, they want one person to do that work. But these full stack QAs are paid very high, like they are paid in good amount. So that way also this is good. Like if you upskill yourself, or if you know automation performance, like multiple testings, then in that way also it is useful.
Huh.
Yeah, even if you want to grow to a test architect post, okay, so test architects are nothing but who know most of the testing practices. So that is also there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm taking more time today. So let's stop here. Let's continue.
Vishnu Vignesh here. Like,
Yeah,
what
Vignesh.
is the how to enroll for this the future? I mean, for the
Future
next class. I mean, for
okay,
the
next
how to enroll for the fees and.
yeah, you will get a link. Okay, Kalyani or Anita will share the link in the WhatsApp group. So they will give you next steps, what you need to do.
Okay.
Yeah, and even the further, like the all the activities like sharing the videos, sharing the materials, whatever I have provided them, so that they will be managing.
Okay.
Yeah, even these recorded videos also you will be having, like you will get the access. You can watch it anytime later also.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Just a small detail about the timing. So
Yeah, Namita. Yeah.
tomorrow at the same time, 8:30 to 9:30, right? Like CST.
Yeah. Today we started at 8:30, right? CST or 8.
Yes, 8:30.
Yeah. Today 8. Yeah.
And
So same.
the lab session is 5:30 p.m. IST, so it means 7 a.m. CST. So will
Yeah.
it
It is little.
continue? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand, but the problem is like we have other sessions, so that's the only time we can accommodate that lab. That's why we kept that time.
Yeah,
So
it's okay. But
Yeah.
there won't be any change in the timings, right? Like
No, no,
previously
no.
it was like 9:30 to 10:30.
Correct. For now, there won't be any change. But in case if maybe some conflict I get in my meetings or my schedules, I might maybe push it half an hour away. Like
Okay.
now it is 8:30. You said right CST, so it
Yes.
could be 9 CST.
Okay.
But generally it won't happen. But yes, because my meetings sometimes there could be some meetings, right? So I might have to. In that case, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you all for attending today's session. Meet you all tomorrow. Hoping to meet you all tomorrow and upcoming lectures.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure, Irfan. Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all.
Hi, this is Venkat.
Oh, Venkat, your question?
Yeah, actually, is there any crash course? I mean, like, what is the main prerequisite for this, and how many days will it take and to complete this PT? So, because
Yeah.
I'm totally
Yeah.
new to this, so
So
totally
basic
I'm from
prerequisite.
non-IT.
Prerequisite is zero. If I say
Okay.
it clearly, like there is no prerequisite if you understand English, that is. And the other thing is like if you know little bit of even there is no coding required here, but some web
Okay.
terminology like what is URL, what is even those things also I will cover how much ever is possible when we speak in the lectures. Uh, so prerequisites as such there is nothing, but if you know little bit of testing life cycle, no, you can read in the internet. What is a testing life
Oh,
cycle? What all steps are there in the testing life cycle? So because before you enter into something, you need to know right what is happening in that industry, the
yes.
testing industry. Yeah, that you can
Okay.
do. Yes.
Okay. And one more thing, is there any time constraint? I mean, like, is there
Time
any
constraint.
cash course?
So this is 20 hours course. So it's not a crash course. I meant 20 hours is only the lectures. I think 25 hours. 25 hours will be the lab. I think somewhere around that. So crash course, we can't call this crash course, right? I don't know. It's not 2 hours.
I don't know. Is
Yeah.
there any possible in that way? I mean, to finish in as early as possible.
Oh, that is not possible currently, but because again, this is as I said, like this covers everything. Like as I said, prerequisites is almost nil. So
Okay.
now pushing it into like 2 hour course or 3 hour course is very difficult. That will not help also because as I said, if you do this course, it will be like 4 years of performance experience what you get. But if you do a crash course, it might be looking like a fresher. You might not get any good value out of that. It's like
Okay.
again attending some there won't be any use there. That practical
Okay.
feel might not get. Yeah.
And one more thing, if I learn this only PT, I mean, on with the JMeter, will
Okay.
it be helpful? And apart from this, I need to learn LoadRunner also.
No, no, no. So that's a see. It's like upskilling. Okay, like if you are into some testing or some like it's like you know Java. You if you know C sharp also, it's good in that way. Okay. If you know JMeter, if you know
Okay.
load, also good. Like if you are in performance testing field, okay. If you know two tools, it is good because the organizations who are using LoadRunner also you will get the opportunities. People who use JMeter, there also you will get opportunities. So there is no like, it's
Okay.
not like you're in performance, you need to know both the tools because things are same. Like anyone can learn LoadRunner who know JMeter. Anyone can learn JMeter who know LoadRunner. So it's very common. It's very easy to learn. Only the tool is changing, the look is changing, feel is changing, but things are same.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. 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 Any other question?
Nothing. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing, Vishnu. That's it.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Then let's stop here. Let's continue tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
And someone asked me about the freshers, right? Like I think Manasa. So yeah, so basically for freshers, it's like totally new. Okay, means like they don't know anything about IT industry, the testing or what is happening. So some like even the words might be little different. Like what is his environments, what is his testing, what is it happening, what is an application. Even that level of knowledge also they will not have. So that they should have, the freshers. Okay, then only they can. That's the prerequisite for freshers.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay then. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye bye.